My next guest is a tech creator and a diehard nerd at heart. We first met years ago at one of my fan meetups, and now I see him at press events like this one, shooting content under his own brand. In a very short time, he's amassed 250,000 followers on TikTok, and it's been a joy to watch him grow as an up-and-coming creator in the tech space. Please help me welcome the best-dressed nerd that I know, Terrence McKelvey, a.k.a. DaPoets.
It has been back to back to back.
Dude, how many meetings did you even get through today?
I did make it to the Intel suite just before I came here, so that's why I was like 10 minutes late.
Right.
That was cool, the stuff that they have set up.
What do they got?
They have this little room where it's like you with a controller, you're playing on the Intel Arc, but the whole room is the game screen.
Oh,
so it's
damn.
like big, huge here, and you're just like immersed. I'm like, oh, snap.
And now you need double strength glasses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you tried that, the Odyssey Arc, the Samsung?
Yeah, when that was actually CES, 2 CESs ago, I think.
Yeah, because they just launched the second generation.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
it was my first time ever seeing it in person. And oh my God, dude.
It's unwieldy. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't want it.
I feel like in order to use that, like the person I imagine using that monitor is like the South Park World of Warcraft guy.
That's what I thought.
That's who it's for.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
I left that out of my sponsored video, but it's a crazy monitor.
I was like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I can't use that.
Yeah. Dude, so...
Right. Yeah, so what are we talking about? What's going on?
Dude, we're talking about... What aren't we talking about?
You asked me to come over, and I just said yes.
I did. Because I figured I run into you literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like everyone runs into you everywhere.
I am everywhere.
How many clones do you have? There's no way that one person can just travel that much
I'm just
and just be at every
fast.
event. Are you just a quick person?
Yeah.
You've always been like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Dang, dude. So would you say like you have like A+ personality type?
I thrive on being busy. I'm better at everything I do when I am busy.
I see.
Yeah. So if I don't have anything to do, I lose my mind type of thing.
Yeah, it's like the opposite, right? Like some people are the opposite way. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I could be the opposite way. It's like if I have too much to do, I'll just Kyle.exe stopped working.
Yeah.
But being busy is good. It's definitely better than like idle hands. Because like when I'm not busy, it's like I get up to no good. Like I'm just doing things that I shouldn't be doing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'll find busy work for myself to do,
But it's a waste of
but it's
time
always
now.
bad. It's
Yeah.
never good.
Yeah. No, I get that.
My laptop isn't working for some reason. It just decided it was like I'm gonna just continue working right until we start the interview.
Just
so I'm just gonna
do
pull
it.
it up on my phone.
Yeah.
I hate doing it on my phone because then it feels like I'm just like on Twitter or something. You know, it feels weird. Like I feel like
you're
the
probably
guest
on
thinks like,
Snapchat.
is he just like replying to text or something? But I've just got my Google Docs here. I'm not trying to do you like
Okay.
that.
No, that's fine. What am I? I'm trying to turn this off for alerts.
So I want to just, for people who don't really follow you or don't know you yet, how would you describe? So like I was like trying to think about what kind of content you make, and I would say like PC envy comes to mind, and like overkill builds. Like you do a lot of like. You do a lot of builds that like I'm jealous of,
Yeah.
and like I have all the parts and stuff. I'm like, damn, he's making a $10,000 PC for Star Citizen. This is crazy. You build some insane systems, and you're also very good at custom water cooling.
I enjoy that. Yeah.
How did you even get into custom water cooling?
Oh,
Were you into PCs already for a while before you started that, or was it like right away you just delved into it?
well, growing up, I was always into Transformers and just things that were cool tech-wise,
Right.
and like Robotech and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So my whole life, in my family, I've been the tech person.
Right.
My parents would drive 6 hours to drop me off or drop stuff off for me in college, and they were like, we couldn't get the radio working. And
Yeah.
I'm like, did you press that right there? And then it's working.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
Exactly, stuff like that. So I've just always loved PC stuff. Like my first computer was real PC was a 386 DX2, 33 megahertz, 12 gigs of RAM, and we built that. We also had the Atari XE before that.
Was there somebody around you growing up that kind of helped, like that influenced you towards that tech space, or did you just kind of pick it up on your own?
A mix. So my parents always gave us the ability to like, hey, what do you enjoy? And they try to like push us, like soccer, football, all that stuff.
Right.
Chess. I was playing chess since kindergarten. You know? And The thing is, with the PC world, my father kind of saw that like we really enjoyed tech, so he helped us build our first PC, and he's learning along the way too, way back then.
That's awesome.
And
it's really crazy. It's cool when like your parents aren't into something, but they get into it because they see that you like it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Terry Crews comes to mind. Like he got into PC gaming because his kid was like, super into it, and he was like, I don't know how to connect with my child anymore. I gotta get on his level and just like start taking an interest in his interests, which
that's what you have to do
sounds
these
like
days.
that's pretty sweet that your parents are like that supportive.
Yeah. And so we were just developing our PCs over time, and I remember when we were like, what are we supposed to do with a 100 gigabyte hard drive? Like that blew my mind back in the day. It was just like crazy to see the development of having a 1200 baud modem, or I remember being able to communicate with somebody on AOL when we were in Prodigy.
Oh wow,
that was amazing back then. And now it's just fascinating to see the development because my parents got us so involved in tech early.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you're a relatively early creator, or I would say young creator is probably. Well, I mean you're old, but
damn it.
It's okay. I'm old too. But actually, I want to talk about that because your main platform is TikTok, right? Would you say that, or maybe not?
My first platform was YouTube.
Okay.
So I went to in 2019, a little bit of a life changed, and so I was like, you know what, I want to do something more tech focused that I've always loved.
Yeah.
And I'm a partner in a wealth management firm, so I've always been in finance. I've built a big branch. I've built 2 investment firms. I've worked on Wall Street, all that stuff.
Right.
And so when it came to like what I really want to do next, I've been in finance so long. I'm still in finance, but like this has kind of taken over a little bit. Where in 2020, I was like, all right, I want to go to CES. And I was watching iJustine's videos on a camera, so I ended up getting the Sony RX100 Mark VII.
Do they have CES in 2020?
Yeah.
They did, huh?
Yeah, because that was the super
just
spreader.
A ghost town. Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me about it.
Yeah, that was the super spreader. Yeah. We didn't know anything about the thing, the beer virus back then.
Right.
So when... 2019, end of like is November, December, I'm here like playing around and with the camera, I'm filming my water cooling stuff that I'm building with Threadrippers and Optimus water blocks, EK water blocks, and I'm like testing different performance levels.
Right.
And this is stuff that I was like, I'm going to do this anyway, so let me just press record, right?
Right.
And so,
but I mean, but why press record? Because some people wouldn't come to that same conclusion. They'd be like, well, what's the point? Like,
part of it was, I like teaching people things.
Okay.
And seeing you and Paul, Jay, and a bunch of others, that's kind of what you guys are doing in a way. You're teaching people how to do something and what the performance is of this versus that.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? There's not too many people that are really doing it in the water cooling space, and I'm loving custom water cooling.
Yeah.
So instead of just like, hey, this is my air-cooled PC, like let me show my Threadripper system that was overkill at the time.
Right.
3970X, so 32 cores, 64 threads.
Yeah.
It's been, actually, that's the PC that I've been developing since 2006.
Damn.
So it's just been upgraded and upgraded and
I mean,
upgraded.
they say a PC is never done, right? It's like a house.
Yeah.
For nerds. It is cool, like that there are so many different niches in the PC world, and like there are so many nerds who are into PCs have like a slightly different thing or things that they're into. Yeah. Which really makes the tech space, like the tech creator space, just such a colorful place. Because like you're always going to have your own personal spin on whatever it is you're talking about, and you're going to deep dive into certain things that other tech creators aren't. Yes. You know, like there's a guy who just does cables, like cable extensions or whatever. There's a guy who just does mining or whatever. That guy. No, I'm just kidding. But it is really cool that you've sort of found your niche.
And before you go in any further, like I've done like maybe one video overall on cables. Yeah. And for mining, I don't talk about it because I'm licensed in finance. So
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Got that one out of the way.
Yep.
So, I mean, so you were talking about like how you started on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, what about like how'd you get into TikTok?
So when I went to CES, I filmed a bunch of videos, did all YouTube format videos back then. There were no shorts back then or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that was cool. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about video editing and things of that nature. And then some friends of mine were showing me this thing called TikTok. And they were singing and dancing.
Were they friends your age or were they like 12?
No, like my age range, put it that way.
Damn.
And I'm just like, okay. So one day I was like, let me just film my PC, my water-cooled PC.
Yeah.
Might have been like a 20-second video.
Yeah.
Woke up the next day, had 5,000 followers with hundreds and hundreds of comments.
No way.
Yeah.
Just first video?
First video.
I did hear that like TikTok was doing that in the early days. Like the first video, they would just feed it through the algorithm to just kind of get you hooked.
True.
It's like a drug dealer will give you the first gram free.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It kind of was. But there were so many questions.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my follow-up videos were just answering those questions. Like the most frequently asked one was, where's your GPU? I had a vertically mounted GPU with the water block, and they were like, what is that thing?
I mean, I do think that's one of the coolest features on TikTok is that you can just put someone's question, put their comment in your TikTok and then reply to it, because then it just becomes like this two-way street of just never-ending communication, it gives you a really easy way to like come up with new content ideas.
Because who makes a full YouTube video to answer one question real quickly?
Yeah, right.
It doesn't really happen.
Exactly. You know? And it's also like on YouTube, you're not going to make a 10-minute video over a simple question. So a lot of those questions just go unanswered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
and to be in the comment section constantly on YouTube is a hard thing to do. You know, I'm overloaded on comments now. You know, and it's unfortunate because I enjoy the interaction with the community.
Right.
But I'm just one person. Right.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I don't have a customer service staff to answer
exactly.
in my brainwave,
exactly,
you know,
dude.
things.
We got limited bandwidth.
Yeah,
for
sure. And you know, being at CES, like I think I've answered like 2 comments on there because it's just running back to back to back, and I'm trying to upload videos and edit videos and meet with different companies and all that stuff.
Right.
But the beauty of TikTok and Instagram and all these is that some of them are just easy to video edit, post and whatever, and move on.
Yeah.
Like TikTok and Instagram.
Right.
And others with like a real like Sony camera that I'm using, doing the long format for YouTube, but I'm trying to find a way to just make sure it's a good balance so that I'm addressing the majority of viewers' desires.
Right.
But at least for me, everything I'm filming, I'm enjoying. Like that's all I'm doing. I'm just running around these suites. I'm like, that looks cool. Let me film it.
Yeah.
And
that's the only way that you can that it's really sustainable.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for other reasons, like for money or fame, whatever, it's like you're only going to go so far before you just burn out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to have a passion for it.
A common comment is, I want to get into tech content creation because I want companies to send me products. Trust me, the products don't matter after like a short period of time.
Yeah. I mean, that novelty wears off quick.
Very quickly.
Quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why like, you see like billionaires just doing all kinds of wild stuff that like the average person's like, that sounds insane, but it's because they've already done it all.
Yeah,
like that, like they're just chasing the dragon, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
I'm actually curious about going back to like the TikTok thing. Like, I feel like it's a very young platform in terms of like just younger creators, and like just what's that been like? I guess like kind of really going in like going deep into a platform where like you're kind of like on the older side, like I would be on the older side too if I was into TikTok, which I've been meaning to get into. I think it sounds super fun. But what's that like? Like when you go to conventions and you meet up, I'm guessing you meet up with other tech talkers.
Yeah, content creators in general.
Is there usually an age gap, or are there like a lot of like dudes our age on TikTok now? Has it become that?
I'm noticing
sort of mainstream.
It's a bit of a range. So those that are around my age that are tech talkers.
Yeah.
I don't really see them much at conventions like DreamHack. We were just at for Atlanta with Intel and Star Citizen.
Yeah.
But the people that attended, they were of all ages. It was kind of cool. When it came to, I guess, other events like Computex was a bit different because that's overseas.
Yeah.
But PAX, PAX East and PAX West, definitely get a lot of younger people coming up to me saying like, "Hey, DaPoets, I love your stuff." Or we were in Buffalo, New York, walking on the boardwalk at the waterfront, and a young kid just came up to me like, "Oh, you're the TikTok guy." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." You know? And
yeah, definitely.
So
it definitely changes. Like maybe the audience is a little bit younger too.
Yeah, the audience is a little bit younger, definitely.
Do you ever feel like you have to cater to that younger crowd with your content, or are you just like, no, I'm just going to produce what I want to produce, like in the way that I want to do it?
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
And luckily, I'm lucky because of that. So I, again, enjoy educating people about things.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm in finance. I talk about like, I'm basically a teacher of finance for my clients.
Yeah.
And so for the tech stuff, it's the same thing of like, how do you position an AIO correctly in a PC, so you don't get air in the pump, or what does this widget do in this PC? I like explaining that. Yeah. And traditionally when you're teaching somebody something, you learn more about that product as well.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
So it's just kind
goes
of
both ways.
Yeah, it definitely goes both ways. Like I teach Taoist Tai Chi in my volunteer time. Well, traditionally, I haven't in the last couple of years, but
yeah. Did you name that ASRock board? You?
I've had a affinity toward that board because of that, but that's one of the things about the Taoist Tai Chi Society that I've been a part of for since 1996, I think.
Yeah.
Where after you've learned how to do the Taoist Tai Chi set, and it's all for health, stretching type of thing. We're not throwing people to the ground. Yeah, unfortunately, but after you've learned it, then they're like, hey, if you want to teach, go ahead and teach, because it does teach you more about the Tai Chi set.
Right.
So you know like what to look for and other people's errors and stuff. And
100%.
When it comes to overclocking, it's the same thing. Like when I'm teaching somebody how to overclock, I'm like, wait a minute, what does that setting do? And because I didn't know it.
Exactly.
You know?
I think that's the case with anything. Like like if you want to be a teacher, you have to learn first yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you just like teaching is a learning process in a sense, where it's like if you're doing a cooking show or something, you're dropping a recipe. You better make sure that recipe works.
Yeah.
Like you got to know that recipe better than anyone else.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, ask away. That's why we're here.
Where'd the stick come from? Explain the stick.
So,
hey, big shout out to Thermaltake for hooking it up at CES 2024. So they dropped some seriously cool cases at their booth, and guess what? They teamed up with Asus to birth the Series 330. A mid-tower beauty that's all about those cable-free vibes with Asus's BTF motherboards that put all the connectors and headers on the backside. Clean look? Check. It supports up to 7 120mm fans and a 360 radiator at the front. Oh, and the case on display, you ask? Rocking that awesome hydrangea blue to celebrate Thermaltake's 25th birthday bash. Black and snow white versions are hitting shelves on January 10th for $109.99 USD. And the hydrangea blue option drops on January 4th, same price. Now let's talk about the CTE E600MX, a real head-turner. Dual-chamber mid-tower with edge-to-edge glass panels for the ultimate build peep show. You can even swap the front panel with an included mesh panel for more airflow. How cool is that? Plus the whole 90-degree rotated motherboard and a floating like a boss vertical GPU thanks to a handy mounting bracket and PCIe 4.0 cable, which are both included. Launching on January 20th in black, snow white, and hydrangea blue for $179.99. Not bad at all for all the cool stuff it brings to the table. But wait, there's more. The Tower 300, a micro ATX marvel with an octagonal shape. It's like Loot Crate, spaceship, endless nerdy possibilities with tons of modding potential. And it's not just for show. Removable toolless glass panels and a hinged fan bracket make access to components and cables a breeze. And if that's not rad already, you've got the option to set it up on an angled stand for a one-of-a-kind perspective on your build. Plus, there's a ventilated panel cleverly concealing all the I/O ports, giving it that ultra-clean aesthetic. Available for $149.99 in custom colors. Black and snow white are out now. Turquoise and blue on the 14th, and green and yellow dropping on February 4th. Major props to Thermaltake for making these CES 2024 chats happen. Check out their latest gear with the link in the description. Huge shout out to MSI for hooking it up at CES 2024 and making these interviews possible. Now brace yourselves for the tech magic. MSI just unveiled their MEG 321 URX QD OLED display, a 32-inch OLED 4K monitor that's got a wild 240Hz refresh rate and a crazy fast 0.03 millisecond response time. And get this, it's not just any monitor, it's powered by AI. Right now, the AI is all about giving League of Legends players an edge, but more games are in the pipeline. Check this out. There's a slick LED bar on the bottom that syncs with the character's health bar, keeping crucial info in your peripheral vision while you crush it in battle. Then there's AI SkySight, predicting where off-screen enemies might pop up and slapping a red skull icon on screen to show you where they're coming from. It's like tactical ESP. And the best part? No bans here, because all the AI magic happens on the monitor, not your PC. So go ahead, enjoy that sweet victory, you cheating son of a What's really neat is MSI is exploring ways to leverage AI in other games so users can teach their monitors to elevate their gameplay even further. But wait, there's more. MSI dropped a 49-inch QD OLED 2K display with a mind-blowing 5120 by 1440 resolution. Hits up to 144 Hz, and yep, it's packing the same AI superpowers as the other monitor. Both of them are also rocking OLED Care 2.0 for burn-in prevention, dimming desktop icons and other static stuff on your screen. Hear that noise? No, you don't, because this monitor is silent. This baby is fanless, using a graphene film to conduct heat like a champ before exhausting it passively out of its ventilated back panel. Want to dive deeper into all the MSI awesomeness? Hit up the link in the video description. Where'd the stick come from? Explain the stick.
So,
to people who don't know.
Yeah. So, the stick's upstairs too. Darn it.
Oh, you brought it?
Oh yeah.
All right. You got to share with the class. What's up with the stick?
Sometimes you got to poke something, you know.
Yours detaches? What the hell?
Oh yeah. So, kind of early TikTok year. Right? Yeah. Asus. Thank you, Asus. They were one of the first companies that actually started sending me a ton of stuff. And back then, that was like, I got stuff.
Oh, right? Yeah. Super exciting. Yeah. It is very exciting.
Yeah, it is. And then I was always known for having like the Microsoft Natural keyboards or like ergonomic keyboards. So everyone's like, oh, what's this ancient keyboard that you have and stuff? And I'm like, this is the best keyboard ever. It's just like my hands fit. It's comfortable. I can type fast and all that stuff. And then my viewers just kept talking about custom keyboards and all this stuff and mechanical switches, optical switches.
Sure.
It was all going in my head. I was like, what is all this blue, green, yellow stuff?
Right.
Like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And so then Asus, they sent me an RG Strix keyboard. I forget exactly which one because it's a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But it was optical mechanical reds.
Okay.
And so I didn't open it yet. I'm doing a video of like, all right, Asus sent me this, optical mechanical keyboard.
Yeah.
Never experienced something like this. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I should poke it with a stick. So nice. In the video, it shows me putting on my coat, going out into the park, finding a stick. The video is of the stick coming back to my place.
Yeah.
And then I'm poking it. That's all I did was in that video.
Nice.
And then just years later, I think that was 2020.
Yeah, right.
So years later, the stick is still around.
So I mean, I'm sure like it's become like this beloved character in your content.
It's become a little bit of an Easter egg. And
yeah.
So there's old school viewers and newer viewers.
Right.
So, and a lot of my even like paid content videos, those companies just like use the stick, like we love it. So it'll be something like a GPU, like with the fans, and you might just randomly see the stick just like push the fan, and that's the only time you see it. And people are like, "What the hell's with the stick?" And in my comment section, people would be like, "Oh, you're new here."
I think it's for sure, but I mean, I think you nailed it. It's like if you can. It's not often when, forgive me for saying this, something sticks, but the fact that it's now become this iconic, very identifiable part of you and your brand.
Yeah.
Where it's like you see a Tech Talk video and it's got a stick in it, you instantly think DaPoets, and it's like it's cool when you can do that because I don't know, it's fun too. I think that's another cool thing about TikTok is that it makes tech fun again.
You can be you.
You know what I mean? Like I appreciate you really can be you. Yeah. It's like embrace the weird. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like YouTube's great. Like we have so many good videos and like so much like data, really good hard science and stuff from like Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unboxed. But man, like I feel like early YouTube days when I first started felt like TikTok feels now. And I think that's maybe the case with new platforms. They just kind of, or maybe
Wild
it's
West.
Maybe it's just young people. You know, I was also 10 years younger, and so like
that is true.
You just, TikTok's a fun place. It's a fun place for tech.
Yeah, you can just be yourself, be creative.
Yeah.
They keep coming out with new tools so if you want to use their internal tools and stuff. But for me, it's just the interaction with viewers, and it's cool to know that people enjoy what I enjoy.
Definitely.
That's really what, in a way, keeps motivating me. You know,
right.
If nobody was interacting with me, but I had, say, 1 million views a month, but like zero interaction,
right,
it wouldn't be as fun.
Exactly.
Like, so I'll take 10% of the views, but all that interaction from the comment section and people asking all these questions, and that's what I want.
There's really no point in creating any kind of content without a community.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's like part of what makes it so good.
Yeah, they keep asking the viewers keep asking me to make a Discord. I'm just like,
you don't have a Discord?
I don't have a Discord. Yeah.
Got to get on it, man.
I know.
All right, so you've it's only day 0 of CES right now, and you know I'm doing interviews, so I haven't really been out there on the field like you have. But what's like? I'm guessing AI is like the theme of CES this year, because like every year you realize like CES has a theme. Like one year it was drones. Yeah. And then another year it was just RGB everything.
True.
And now it's like, is it AI? It's got to be AI. It is
definitely AI,
right?
But it's jumping the gun.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
It's just really, it's a hot term. Everyone's like marketing, buzzword.
It's AI. Okay, what does it do? Well,
it turns orange when you were wearing an orange shirt. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
So
what have you seen any cool examples of it yet, or on the show floor or not?
Yes. So this is localized AI on one of the Gigabyte laptops. Actually, it has an RTX 4090 in it, nice. And so the camera's on you from the laptop, and it's understanding kind of your facial features or whatever, and then translating it into an AI anime character.
Oh,
which is
like an avatar.
Really cool. Yeah, but it's like kind of real time almost. About, I'd say, 4 or 5 frames per second.
Okay.
So it's like changing every 4 to 5 seconds the entire look of who you are.
Right.
And you can tell it's you.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. What do you do? What do you actually do with the avatar? Do you play?
No, it's just an image of it moving around while you are, and just giving you different looks of it. Right. So it's kind of like the AI art.
It's like a TikTok filter.
In a
built
way,
into your
but built into the system. So that was pretty darn cool. Another one was on another laptop. It had a 4060 in it, so it didn't need as much power. But you could kind of draw on the laptop screen like a dog or something, and maybe like a house. And I can't draw for nothing. Then you enter some commands into it, like okay, you want it to have some grass and sunny or whatever, and then you hit process, and then it'll actually make that painting that you can't do yourself.
Yeah, right.
So I thought that was really cool.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
So there's definitely creative uses for AI. Then when it comes to gaming, there was a monitor that I saw.
Was it the MSI one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to mention that one.
So that one is interesting, but I think it's going to come up to be a topic of discussion. Right. So if you have AI that is displaying on the screen, it's built into the monitor, displaying on the screen your health bar, or actually it had a RGB on the bottom, so your health bar going down and stuff. I think that's fine. That's not really a big advantage.
Sure. But the other one, the AI Sky Sight.
Yes.
Right? So basically what that was is, I think they were playing League, right? It was
League of Legends. Yep.
And so basically when your enemies are off screen, there will be, like, AI will predict where they're going to be coming from, and there will literally just be something that pops up on your, like an icon that pops up on your monitor in the direction of where they're at, so you have an advantage. That is a tactical advantage for sure. Advantage. Yeah. So it is going to, and then, like, I loved what they said too. I'm not dissing them at all, but they were like, oh, and because this is all happening real time, baked into the monitor and not the system, you can't get, like, banned for cheating.
Exactly.
And I'm like, ooh, that's going to raise some questions. That's going to raise some brows for sure.
So I'm interested to see how the debate is going to be with AI in gaming, because you can't stop it. Exactly. AI is coming. It's going to be here. It's going to be integrated into so many things. Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra phones, they have integrated AI built into the hardware. Yeah. When it comes to Meteor Lake, AI baked into that.
Do they have? Does like Tobii eye tracking work with, like, shooter games? Can you just, like, look at all their heads and just boom, boom, boom?
In a way, yes. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I mean, eventually it's going to be like that. Eventually it's going to be good.
They have like a gaze thing where you, like, because I play Star Citizen, you know, so you can use it to kind of look around your ship, and you can gaze at another ship and be like, okay, so your targeting can go there, and then pull the trigger, you know, type of thing. So it's interesting. It's not too much of an advantage, so that's why it's still kind of supported.
This is how it starts.
Yeah,
we're at the starting line.
Yeah. So I don't know. AI is going to be developing in ways that we haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what we
stages.
We have no idea what we're dealing with.
So
we'll mess it up somehow, though, for sure.
Or AI will mess us up. One of the two. So.
God, yeah. Dude, I know, man. Like, I started because I use ChatGPT sometimes.
Yeah.
I started saying please and thank you.
Oh.
Just in case. You know?
To our future AI overlords, thank you for doing so well right now for us in 2024, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Yeah, we're all going to die. We're totally screwed. What else, man? What else have you seen at CES? Anything else excite you? Get you fired up?
The thing is with CES, it's really always like 50% about the people. Like getting to see the other content creators, getting to meet new, like, reps, and like I have reps that have sent me so much business. Yeah. And we've only communicated literally over text. Right. And then finally today, face to face.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That's
it is
awesome.
Pretty cool. It's always cool putting a face to the name. Yeah. I will say, like, after a while, you do get to know everyone, because it's a small little community once you've been there for a while, and then when you're trying to, like, when you got like a million meetings and then you just keep running into people that you haven't like seen in a year or more, and they're like, yo, what's up? And it's like, dude, it's the worst because I'm such a people pleaser. Like I hate turning people down. Like I want to give people my time, but I also don't want to be late to my next meeting and hold those people up. So it's like I just run into this constant like ball of stress at CES, which is maybe why I decided to do these interviews.
Yeah, you're like, hey, could just come to me this time.
Yeah, just as as a way to really sit down and talk with someone, as opposed to this like high and by
and
type
then looking
thing.
at your watch. Like,
yeah, exactly. So I mean, this has been cool, man. Like, thank you for coming on. And all that.
I love this. And actually, that's what, like, I never wear smartwatches anymore.
Oh,
so a few days before CES, I was like, all right, let me put this on. Let me get used to it again.
Yeah.
Because one, I want to know how many steps I'm going to take.
Just for the lulls.
Yeah. But also, I want something to vibrate on me. Be like, okay, your next meeting's coming up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just keep it PG.
Hey, well, you know,
that's all right.
We need our vibrations, you know.
Yeah, good vibes only.
Yeah. So it's helped.
Yeah.
I've still been late. But less late than I would have been.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for being on time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for lying.
No, it's instant karma because I was very late to my meeting with MSI earlier today. Oh, I felt so bad. I just walked up and there was like 6 people out in front, and I was like, oh no, are they all just waiting for me?
Yeah.
I felt so bad, dude. I felt so bad.
It happened.
But I spent extra time there to make up for it. So.
Yeah. I did the same because I was a little late too. But
yeah, dude.
It happened. It happened.
Yeah.
Sorry, MSI. Sorry, Gigabyte. Sorry, Asus. It's a long list of being late today.
Did you go on the? Did you go to the convention center today? Like the Las Vegas convention, the main one?
Yeah, we went yesterday because on my calendar there was something scheduled for Sony, and then they were like, "Yeah, how the heck did that get on your calendar?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were still like setting up and everything, and I'm like, God damn it. So yeah,
nice.
But it was cool to see the build process though.
Oh yeah,
that I really love. Yeah,
it is nuts.
I was like, how are they going to get everything done by Tuesday? Like,
yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
they have a lot of hands usually.
Yes,
but it's still just a tremendous amount of work. And you see some of these like setups, like the LG booth. It's like, how do they mount 300 monitors in
I have no idea.
5 hours?
I don't know, like the big,
it's
the
crazy.
wave thing that they do.
Dude.
I'm like, holy cow.
It is insane.
So, yeah, they have a lot of skill. I mean, obviously, they've got this down to a science because this is year. How many CESs have you attended, actually?
I was wondering that the other day. I don't know the exact count because there have been some years where I'll miss one, but I think it's close to 10.
Oh.
I'd say maybe 9, something like that.
Are you counting the virtual CES?
No, just like in-person CESs.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, the first one was back at Newegg when I was still working there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, dude, those were the good old days, man. It was like, so everyone was so young because I was with Paul. Like Paul was, my coworker at the time, and we just hopped in a van, like our little team, and just squatted up and just like road trip to Vegas. And dude, it was like a dream job for someone straight out of college.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get to play with computers all day and just like. And test games and just go to like travel and stuff. Vegas, like this is insane.
I love that.
It was wild time, dude.
Right after I graduated from college, I was studying for my securities examinations, but during the time I was working at Circuit City.
Oh wow! Oh damn!
So,
God, I feel old, dude.
So I was
don't date us like that, bro.
Selling computers with insurance.
Yeah.
And while it was low, we were playing EverQuest on the PCs.
Man, EverQuest. Yes. Dude, my old boss was diehard EverQuest fan.
Man, we called it EverCrack.
Dude, yeah, for sure. It was crack.
And then there was a help group for spouses. It was called the Wives of EverQuest. Yeah.
Like a support group?
Yeah, support group. I couldn't believe it, but that
should have been one for the
thing.
gamers too. Like it's like EA, like EverQuest Anonymous or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You have like a sponsor.
Sorry, spouses.
Just calls you every week.
We love our gaming. Yeah.
How much did you spend on a custom character this week?
Oh, let's not talk about Star Citizen.
Dude, let's talk about Star Citizen. I actually would like to talk to Star Citizen with you because you're a huge fan of the game.
Yes,
You've been to like CitizenCon stuff.
Mm-hmm. Which was amazing.
All right, so I know very little about the whole Star Citizen thing. I just know it's $500 million in fund, just crowdfunded and all that. Is it ever going to be completed? Will it ever be finished, and does it even matter?
So Star Citizen has the single-player campaign called Squadron 42.
Okay.
And then
and that's finished.
And the player universe, which is still in development. So the
Squadron
42, that at CitizenCon was just announced as being feature complete. So now they're just in the polish stage to make sure it's working correctly.
But it is a full-fledged game.
Full-fledged game, yes.
It's not like 30 minutes long, is it?
No,
do you know how
I don't know how long it will be.
The breadth of the game, like,
yeah, but it'll be pretty deep in terms of just
nice.
being able to do a lot of stuff
Oh,
in
cool.
the game. Fly around, get out of your ship, run around, all that stuff.
Then I'm glad I asked, because I had no idea.
Yeah,
that they
so
were...
Squadron 42, like, I don't like single-player games. I never play them at all.
Sure.
Except for
really none.
No, except for Minesweeper and Solitaire.
Circuit City, Minesweeper. How else can we date ourselves right now?
Yeah. Hearts. I will play Hearts every now and then.
Hearts is pretty solid.
Yeah. But yeah, I never play single player games.
So are you just not interested? Like, not even Star Citizen? Not even Star Citizen is enough to get you stoked.
So
for a single player game.
I only owned Squadron 42 because Star Citizen, I became a backer and got one of the packages where it was included. Right. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. I like the fact that they're developing Squadron 42 because that technology is going to come over to the player universe.
It's like a little big game. It's like a little preview.
Yeah, preview, like, sure, break the game, work out the bugs, and then
sure.
when it works, bring it over to the player universe, which is a big, vast MMO.
Right.
And that's how I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But then after CitizenCon, seeing Squadron 42 firsthand, I was blown away.
Okay.
And so now I will say we'll play it. Yeah,
for sure.
I'm going to be playing it.
You might as well.
It's exciting.
I mean, just the level of ambition of that game is just
well, they're developing technology in order to make the game. Like tech that's never been made before.
So that's interesting too. Like, what kind of tech?
Geez. Well, first off, they have this thing called server meshing. So you have multiple servers and then a layer on top of it called a replication layer.
Yeah.
So that's kind of mirroring all these individual servers. So if you're on one server and you want to shoot a missile at somebody over on this server, they're getting hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're going to have cross server, I'm going to kill you.
And there's no other game that does this right now.
Not in this format, no, because there's persistence as well.
Yeah.
So if you're like on a random moon and you find a cool spot and you're like, oh, I'm just going to set my weapon down here, you'll be able to go back a month later and pick it up as long as nobody else is taking it.
Yeah, right. I mean, if anyone from any server can go to your server, then chances are it'll be gone. Yeah. Unless you gotta hide it.
Well, it's vast. Like there's a whole solar system with planets and landscapes and lakes and all kinds of stuff. So
because you can correct me if I'm wrong. You can just like actual space, like you could fly from one planet to another.
So you can wake up in your habitation unit.
Yeah.
Put on your gear, your clothing.
Yeah.
Walk over to a tram, to get to the hangar, to walk into your ship, sit in your cockpit, take off from atmosphere, go into space, land at a space station, get some food, leave again, go into your ship, go to another part of the solar system, do quantum travel, no loading screens.
That's basically what everyone wanted Starfield to be.
Yeah,
right?
Starfield was a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
But let me say this.
Just in that
Starfield, Starfield, well, because people were initially excited about exploration with Starfield.
Of course.
I was like, oh, I hate single player games, but the exploration seems
that's the most fun thing you could do in a space game. That's what it's about. Yeah.
So that flopped. Everything was like, oh, you want to go from here to way over there?
Right, yeah.
Okay, loading screen, you're there now.
Exactly.
You're like, okay, that's...
So much for immersion.
Yeah. So, yeah.
They could have just... Wouldn't it have been better if they just made it like teleporting? Like we have teleportation. You can teleport. I mean, it's still a loading screen, but at least work it into the game somehow where it's like... I don't know. Maybe you could like unlock it.
It would have made more sense at least.
Sure.
The limitation of the technology. But that's the difference between a single player game though and a vast MMO. I keep hitting this vast MMO like Star Citizen, where you literally had to create new technology in order to make this game.
Yeah, because they were trying to do things that had never been done.
Yeah, the game's been developed for 10 years, and I understand. Because the first handful of years, you're not really bringing in much money, right? And they didn't have a big staff, so people put that time frame on there. Yeah. It's really on the last handful of years where a lot of the revenues really come in. They've really developed the staff. They've built new offices.
Yeah.
So that's that's now why that Star Squadron 42 is feature complete.
Right.
Why we're having tons of new features and bug fixes in the real player universe game, Star Citizen. So we're seeing all of this hype, all this excitement because the game feels like things are happening.
Well, I think it's like I think they are able to sustain themselves and pay for all their employees and everything, fund this entire thing because of all the ships you buy?
Partly. Well, yeah.
Just you alone.
Yeah,
just
me
you.
alone.
You're
yeah.
single-handedly
I have paid a few
carrying
salaries.
all of Star Citizen.
Yeah.
What's the most you've spent on a ship? You can be honest. This is a safe place.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I see her looking
because
like...
I block it out.
I see her rolling her eyes right now.
I block it out.
Oh,
yes.
if only you knew.
If only knew. But it only costs $45 to buy the game, right?
Okay.
And that's all you need. Everything else you can just buy in game, playing the game. There's a couple unique ships that even if you had $1 million, you can't buy because they were exclusives to like Intel.
Okay.
So Intel did the Intel Optane drive, and if you bought that at the time, then you got the Intel Saber Raven ship.
Right.
So we're actually giving away. I'm working with Intel and Star Citizen kind of helped to bring them together. Now we're giving away these ships, and they gave me one too.
Oh,
because you just can't find it anywhere.
Can you sell your ship to someone else?
No, it's one of those
insane,
things.
Dude.
But the ones that are sold, but they're like $2,000 on eBay and stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like there's a demand for like rare stuff. AMD did the same thing, but theirs was just a skin. But the Intel one, it was like a whole.
Wait, $2,000 for what? Not a ship?
Just the ship.
Just the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't. Okay.
Yeah,
so
but the way that it was given to me, it was like locked to my account.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
and then we have giveaways, and those are gonna be locked to those people's accounts. So,
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it enhances the rarity, like. So,
right. It's got a fingerprint scanner on it.
Basically.
Damn.
Yeah. But there's a new package that's in the mail, or it's in the news, where you can donate. And be a backer, $48,000 to Star Citizen.
Are you serious?
And that gives you almost all the ships except for the Intel Saber Raven, because that's unique, and like one or two other ships that are like that. But yeah, you get all the ships in the game and Squadron 42, and but that shows you like how many ships there are. There's a lot of hundreds of ships, and
I've never seen a game. I don't think there's any game that has such a diehard fan base.
It is
like the Taylor Swift of video games.
And it's a mature community as well, because 14-year-olds don't have $48,000 to drop on a game.
Right.
But there are ships that are like a space yacht that's like $950.
Space yacht sounds sick.
It is sick. Yeah.
DJ.
Then there's
DJ.
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 There's a bar. There's a bar in there, and a pool, and hot tubs, sauna. Right. Yeah, it's cool.
Damn, dude, I shouldn't be having this conversation with you. My girlfriend's gonna hide my wallet right after this.
Yeah, and then there's big capital ships where like hundreds of people can be in your ship at one time. Damn. And that'll cost I think like $2,700.
Wait, what if you're all right? Hear me out. What if you're hosting like 100-person ship party?
I've been on
and
that.
someone just pulls a grenade. You all die. Ship goes down.
The people in that general area would have a bad day.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the repercussions of dying in Star Citizen? Do you lose everything?
Well, depends on how you die. So you could like be downed, and like if people around you, they can like heal you a little bit, and then send you to the hospital, and you get really repaired.
Right.
You can truly die, and then like your stuff is gone unless you like go find your body and like pick it up again, type of thing.
So you become like a ghost.
Yeah, no, not a ghost, but you just kind of respawn. There's a whole like mechanic of it's the future. So if you die, your consciousness gets put into another body type of thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's
cool.
the lore for it.
That's cool.
Yeah, but there's repercussions too. So
Right.
you can only do that a few times, and then suddenly you really are a new person. Damn. So that's coming down the line. But yeah, they want repercussions.
God,
Death of a spaceman, they call it, I believe.
Death of the spaceman.
Yeah, so
that sounds pretty insane.
Yeah, so basically for those that want to donate money to the game, they're called backers, and obviously do it responsibly. But every ship, mostly every ship, you can get in game just from buying the game. Any ships you can't get from just playing the game, they don't give you any advantage or anything. It's more just like custom skin type of thing.
I see.
And for the most part, it's just a fun, mature community. Every game, every corporation, they have their toxic people. Yes.
Sure.
But you'll have a much better time playing with Star Citizen people, and then saying like, "Hey, we're meeting up for a drink, and it's called Bar Citizen, and come bring your swag." Nice. So that's what it is.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sweet community as well.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, what game are you playing these days?
Dude, I haven't been playing anything.
Nothing?
It's sad. It's very sad.
What about Catan?
I was playing. Okay, I play board games.
Yeah,
I do play board games.
See, the lady and I, we've been playing D&D.
Oh, yeah, dude, you're out nerding me, man. D&D, I got to get on that train.
It's been a lot of fun, and we have 3D printers, so we've been printing our miniatures and painting them too and stuff.
God.
Yeah.
I love nerds, dude.
It's been good.
I love nerds. That's really fun though. It seems like a fun couple thing to do.
It
definitely seems to like a cool I don't know, it's just wholesome. Just sounds cute.
For the like the whole creative aspect of it, definitely. Like I'm not an artist. The lady's an artist, and she like will do the 3D modeling of stuff, like dice rolling towers and miniatures and all that stuff. I'm just like, my mind is blown. I'm like, I thought I was a tech person. But she's the artist, and she comes up with all that stuff, and
that's cool.
It's awesome to see her paint, like sand things down, and
Very cool.
It's nice. It's nice.
Damn, dude. So wait, is it hard to start a game of like your first ever game of D&D if you've never played it before, or do you have to play it with like someone experienced, like a dungeon master that knows what they're doing?
So we've only started playing like just over a year ago or so, and we joined something called the Adventurers League.
Okay.
And specifically in Burbank, there was a place that we like to go to.
Yeah.
Lots of fun because it's meant for people that are just new to D&D.
Right.
Like, you've never played before, cool,
That's
come.
Cool. Right.
And they have this whole setup to basically teach you how to play. And everyone's just like, yeah, we love new people, and this is like how you create your character.
Right.
There's a lot of pencil and paper if you want to do it that way, or there's a lot of online tools where you can just like automatically create your character, and you know, so you don't have to think too much about it these days. And or you can really get deep and want to learn the whole lore of what golden dragons are and like how to defeat them. You know?
So there is a rabbit hole to be had, but you can still enjoy it thoroughly without having to go that deep into it.
And you become a dice goblin if you want. You know,
dice goblin.
Yeah, you can start to collect all kinds of dice, and you know. I think we almost became dice goblins because we really like the heavy metal ones that are like all artsy fartsy and stuff. And
dude, you would get serious about your dice, right?
Yeah,
'cause that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing day in, day out.
And some people put some dice in jail. Like, oh, you're not rolling well. You're in jail. Like, they actually have like jails.
They have like a little mini prison cell for dice.
You're like, you're done. Yeah.
That's adorable. So ridiculous, but very cute.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I got to play with you guys sometime.
Yes.
I think I'd enjoy it a lot.
Too.
Thank you so much to MSI for making these CES 2024 talks possible. So MSI unleashed some killer tech at their booth, but one thing that totally stole the show, literally towering over everything, was the Mag Maestro 700L PZ. This beast of a dual-chamber chassis sports EATX and MSI's Project Zero motherboards. You know, the ones with the sleek cable action going on at the back for that clean look. But hold up, it gets even cooler. The case is a single piece of CNC'd aluminum, meaning zero panel gaps. Add in that one-piece glass panel wrapping around, and you've got yourself a stunner. Ready for some extreme water cooling too? 3 360mm radiators, kind of extreme. What? This unique bad boy, the Meg Maestro 700L PZ, is hitting stores in the next month or two with an MSRP of $379.99. Now, if that's a bit too rich for your blood, check out the Mag Pano. This one's got a more budget-friendly price tag, coming in ATX and Micro ATX sizes. US market gets 4 pre-installed fans, or you can choose a fanless version for the international crew. It's available in black or white, and that wraparound glass panel gives you the ultimate wide-angle views. The case features solid cable management behind the motherboard with plenty of room, and these cool hinged cable covers to make stubborn side panels a thing of the past. With so many Project Zero builds on display, it's no surprise that MSI is also flaunting their line of clutter-free boards, featuring the B650 chipset for AMD's Ryzen 7000 series, and Z790 and B760 chipsets for Intel's 12th, 13th, and 14th gen CPUs. Back Connect design for effortless cable vibes, robust power delivery, and extended M.2 SSD heatsinks, they've got it all. Not to mention 20 gigabits per second USB, Wi-Fi 7, and 2.5 gigabit LAN for that extra sauce. Available now, so get them while they're hot. Hats off to MSI for making these CES 2024 interviews go down. Scope out their latest gear with the links in the video description. Thanks a million to Thermaltake for backing my CES 2024 chats. Now about those fans. Thermaltake's kicking it up a notch. Forget the old ones. These new Tough Fan EX and Suave Fan EX models are on another level. Why? They've got magnets that let you link them up, waving goodbye to that cable chaos. Coming in 120 and 140mm options, these fans only need one cable to power up to 3 fans at once, making PC building a breeze. Need to clean, mod, or swap the blades? Easy peasy. Plus, all the fans include some lube so your little propeller doesn't dry out. Thermaltake's not just stopping at fans, no. They're diving into the racing sim world with the GR500 cockpit. It's got it all. Adjustable fiberglass bucket seat, pedal mount plate, and a sturdy frame that's pre-drilled for all major brands like Thrustmaster, Logitech, and Fanatec. And hey, if you're into that triple monitor setup, they've got a stand for it. Picture this. 3 of Thermaltake's 32-inch curved monitors with all the bells and whistles. Quad HD resolution, 170Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time, and sleek bezels for an immersive edge-to-edge view. Want the deets on all of Thermaltake's latest tech? Hit up the link in the description. What do you got to do after this? What are you doing after?
We have PepCom.
PepCom?
So PepCom. PepCom is like a mini CES event where it's an invite only, where a whole bunch of businesses are going to be.
Okay.
And they invite media. So they want like your true like media credentials. You have to apply. And
it's happening today?
Tonight, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's just, how many days is it?
Just one.
Okay,
yeah, just the night. And so it's like 3 hours. And
yeah.
it's my third time going.
Okay.
So it's...
What kind of stuff they have there?
Oh, like HP will be there, HyperX, you know, those type of companies, and a few startups as well. So probably 100 companies altogether.
Nice.
But because it's kind of exclusive to certain media, you actually get to spend time with these businesses. So it's not like crowded. Like CES Unveiled was kind of crowded.
Right.
This is
a bit more intimate.
Yeah, more intimate, better food, drinks.
That's cool.
So it's a cool event.
Very nice.
And you know, It kind of sucks that it is kind of exclusive because, you know, not everybody can come that I would love to see there. Right. But the other side is you actually get to make some really cool contacts with different companies.
Sounds like a good networking event.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is.
That's cool.
And then the rest of the schedule, man, just way too many, like 20 plus meetings this year. So yeah, it's rough.
Are you doing mostly, are you doing both TikToks and YouTube videos for this event?
And Instagram and Threads,
all the socials,
and Twitters, just spread it out, whichever ones make sense. Yeah.
When you're covering a trade show, what platform's the hardest one to make content for?
YouTube, easily.
Yeah.
Because that long format, put in DaVinci Resolve, edit the video, all that stuff, it's time consuming.
For sure.
YouTube Shorts.
Are you editing your own content?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So YouTube Shorts makes it a bit easier because if I'm making something for TikTok and Instagram, as long as it's under 59 seconds, it's cool.
Yeah.
TikTok, I love the fact that I can do up to 10 minutes. I don't care about how long it is. And a lot of my 8, 9, 10-minute videos do like the best out of all my videos.
Yeah.
So people like that long form content. Plus TikTok is pushing long form content.
Right.
Plus I'm on the creator marketplace or creator content, I don't know, some creator program where TikTok does also pay me, but they only pay me if the video is over 1 minute.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
that's TikTok, you said?
Yeah, TikTok.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite interesting.
Wow. I'm sure people make, like a lot of TikTokers make most of their revenue, most of their income from sponsorship deals and not like
by far.
ad revenue.
Yeah. But I mean, if I get a few $100s, $1,000, you know, a month for TikTok, cool, fine. Like it fills my gas tank. You know?
Question, like what if you make a YouTube video, you shoot it in 16:9 or whatever, is it easy how do you port that over to, do you just crop it for TikTok if you want to put that on TikTok?
Yeah, so the lady will do a lot of filming for me, and I'm always like, hey, just more data is better, you know, so she can like back up. I'm recording in 4K 60 anyway, so I can punch in, you know.
Gotcha.
And the camera that we're using, the Sony ZV-E1, it'll have like the grid lines, so it'll show you exactly where TikTok would be.
Right.
So it's great, you know, doing it that way.
That's cool.
It doesn't always translate well depending on the situation, but maybe like 80% of the time is perfectly fine doing
like
that.
I feel like it'd be hard to make a TikTok of like a super ultra wide monitor.
It kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is.
Get a really sharp angle of it or something.
Some videos that are letterbox format, though, I just upload to TikTok anyway, and I'm just like, turn it that way. So just turn your phone. Screw it. It's a good video.
I mean, you'll look like a boomer, but
it's fine. So I've been doing different tests and stuff. So I've decided that some YouTube videos that I make that are 8, 9 minutes long, like truly just made for YouTube, I just throw them on TikTok and they do well.
Nice.
So
I'm sure it's probably harder to do it the other way, right?
It's
like from TikTok
damn
to
near impossible. Yeah. I mean, you can do YouTube Shorts. Sure. So I do that a lot.
Oh yeah.
I do that a lot.
Like a 10-minute, like to make it an actual 16:9. That's rough.
Yeah, it is rough.
Kind of rough.
Yeah, it's a hard cut sometimes.
Definitely.
But there is a desire for a lot of videos where, you know, people's attention or youth's attention, I'll put it that way, is just not there. So a lot of them just love content where it's just like cut,
exactly.
and it's just voiceover basically, and that like melts my brain. It really does. I'm like, hold up, I like that scene. Go back to it.
That sounds like one of my builds though. Have you ever watched one of my builds?
Yeah, sometimes.
I do a lot of fast cuts. Yeah. I don't know if it's not TikTok level.
Not
probably.
TikTok fast.
It's not TikTok fast.
Yeah.
But those guys go hard.
Yeah,
those guys go really wild.
Yeah, it really does. There's a guy that does it very well. His name is Matty K. Go follow him.
Okay.
Exceptional lighting, exceptional audio.
Nice.
But his cuts are probably the fastest that I would ever even attempt. Right.
Yeah, I wonder if like what creator has the most cuts per second?
Probably him, actually that I watch. Probably him.
And he does tech as well.
Yeah, tech content, laptops and
cool.
PCs and stuff, and lots of giveaways too. So
is he here?
I don't know. That's
like
a good question.
I was like, maybe I'll interview him.
Yeah.
Be like, what's up with the cuts, dude?
Yeah.
Trying to give people Caesars now? You need a disclaimer.
Exactly.
Some of us guys are old.
Yeah. I need more time to view that.
Back in my day.
Yeah, there's what do you do about audio for like music in your background? Because that's an issue for me because I'm on so many different platforms.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as much of a problem for me because I like usually stick to YouTube.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I use like Epidemic Sound.
That's been my primary.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're pretty good. Like,
yeah.
it's not bad. Sometimes, like, the search kind of sucks. You really got to, like, dig. It takes a while to find the exact tune you're looking for.
Right.
But I've been using them for, like, the last few years, and it's been working out,
Yeah, I use them for every platform except TikTok. It's a roll of the dice if it works or not.
If it's going to be, like, flagged.
Yeah.
Taken down. But they just remove the sound, right?
Yeah, well, everything's this dead. Like it's muted.
Oh wait, yes, that's right. They won't just remove the music.
No,
It'll
it's
just be
muted.
everything.
So I'm just like, oh god damn it. So then I have to delete it and then find better music or just use their internal music.
Right.
Which I've been doing a bit more of these days, just to alleviate it because time is what I don't have a lot of.
For sure.
So I just want to do it once and then call it a day.
Actually, like on that note, like where do you have a plan for like where you're taking this? Like, is this just are you like just treating this as a hobby and it's going to stay a hobby? Are you going to keep growing it? You ever going to hire people? Like, what's the vision here?
I think at this point I may have to hire people.
Yeah.
And I mean the lady's been helping me out so much.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't helping me, I wouldn't be to where I am right now. I will say that, like when it comes to like lighting and suggestions with audio and just visuals and camera work and all that stuff.
You do freelance work? Damn. I had to set up all this shit myself.
Yeah. I got a nice setup right here. But also when it comes to just, of course, video editing, she helps me with my thumbnails. Like if you go to my YouTube, you know when I have not done the thumbnail, and it's her.
Right. Yeah. There's a clear difference.
There's a very clear difference. That I don't have that artistic, like I can't draw stick figures. Like my art factor is 0.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes a company scale, is like when you have different minds that excel and specialize in different areas.
Exactly.
You really just kind of become the best at everything that way.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like one person. Like I'm limited. There's certain things that I'll always be good at, and other things that I'll just never be great.
Yeah.
With, it's like unless I hire people.
But to answer your question, so being a partner in a wealth management firm, I've been doing wealth management since the 90s, right? And so what I do now, helping my clients, it's all turnkey. Right, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm long past that stage.
Sure.
And because of technology, so many things are automated, digital signatures, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And my clients are all over the country too. Right. So it's not like I have like face-to-face meetings all the time, like I used to back in early 2000s, and stacks of paperwork back then.
Yeah.
So because that's so automated, and I live in the West Coast, the stock market closed at 1. Right. So then I have the whole rest of my day, afternoon, evening to do tech stuff, which is really cool, because even if something was emergency for a client, I mean, the market's closed. Like, nothing can be done anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So basically, emergencies don't happen.
Right.
And that gives me that flexibility to just be creative in my way when it comes to the tech stuff. Really develop partnerships with new companies, which is so fun because, people had. HyperX are cool, and iBuyPower, Height, and it's just so nice getting to know these people and becoming friends with them, right? And that's the big thing, like seeing them in Taipei, Taiwan, or all kinds of stuff. Just tech has brought me around the world and back. When it comes to TikTok and YouTube, where my finance stuff, it's U.S. based.
For sure.
So this is definitely raising the quality of my life, seeing the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Intel brought the lady and I to Malaysia, right? To view how the new Meteor Lake processors are being, sliced and diced and tested and all that stuff. And we had to wear the full bunny suits, all in white and everything.
With the funny little like slippers.
Slippers and hats and goggles. And it was so cool. We took all kinds of photos holding Meteor Lake processors. I remember the
first time I did a factory tour, I think it was in like Shenzhen or something. Yeah. And like the first time they're like, all right, put your foot in this little machine. I put it in there, like the boot, just like I screamed. I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I was just like bitched out, dude. Everyone's laughing at me. I'm like, damn, no one prepped me for this. But that's fun, man. It's yeah, that definitely sounds like there's potential for growth, and like you are open to the idea of taking it to the next level, hiring help, but at its core, as long as you're continuing to have a blast with it, you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, time is money. I will say it's financially lucrative. It is.
Yeah, for sure.
But for me, it's fun.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
When it's no longer fun, that's when I have to decide, okay, do I really want to do this? You know, am I doing this for the money, or am I doing this because I like the interaction with the viewers?
Yeah.
But it's also weird being a tech celebrity now. Like I'll walk into Micro Center and Best Buy, and like people will come up to me and be like, "Oh, it's like it's
well,
weird."
I think it's crazy. I feel like you've ascended to this level of like being known probably faster than most tech creators, because you're just like you said, you can't stop. You're like a shark. You'll die if you stop swimming.
Right.
You're all over the place, but you're all on top of that. Like, because there are dudes that I've known since the beginning when I started like 10 years ago in the industry, who have been in the industry for a decade, and like no one knows them, or like they're kind of in the shadows. They kind of just linger in the background. But you are like the opposite of that. It's like you talk to everyone you meet. You're very social. You're very engaged. Like, I think you have this level of socialite, like you're very sociable and very confident to just kind of approach these people in an environment that you're still relatively new to. Like, for maybe anyone who's trying to start their own channel, who might be intimidated about, networking or coming to their first CES, like how do you go about that? How do you approach it with such confidence like that?
That's an excellent question. I think you're making me think of my first CES 2020, where I didn't know anybody, right? I think I had 300 followers on YouTube, right? And somehow that CES, I got to interview iJustine, Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, Hardware Canucks, Der Bauer. Like, the list just went on from like on, and I was just like, how is this happening? One, just finding these people at CES, that was nuts. But for me, it was, I've never been starstruck except one time. Maybe that's a second story.
Yeah, the first time we met, I remember.
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah. But besides that one time, everybody's just making their way in life.
For sure.
And so when I see somebody, like, I'm happy to talk to them, saying like, hey, I like what you did with this job, whatever. And
we're all just the same. Like, we're all just people.
Yeah, we're all just people.
No one's like on a pedestal.
No.
And I think people, you're right. People do get intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this person knows more than me, or they're going to like judge me. It's like, no, everyone's like, there's assholes everywhere you look, in any realm, any industry. But for the most part, people are chill.
Yeah.
People are cool. Like, just
happen to
be
meet
cool
other
as well.
Cool people. Yeah.
Also be cool. Don't be a narcissistic freak or like a weirdo. And usually people are pretty laid back.
Yeah.
I think that's a good, like, that's so simple, but also so profound in a way. It's like, just people don't bite. We don't bite.
Exactly.
Like, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Now, the one time I was starstruck, and it took my whole entire being, not to mention Spaceballs. I had dinner with right next to Mel Brooks, and so as we were coming out of the restaurant, we were just talking about the food that we ate and stuff, and I just want to listen. Like, I read Spaceballs the book, I had Spaceballs the lunchbox. I loved the movie. Like, but no, we were just talking about the food and stuff. Yeah.
Do you live in like a star-studded area? Because I feel like you're always running into celebrities. Like, I was like going through your TikTok the other day. I was like, all right, you've run into like Bill Nye. I saw you do a video with like Trevor Wallace. I think you went to a show or something.
Yeah.
But like, how'd you meet Bill Nye? Was that just
we just
random?
Out.
Or was that a collab?
It was out with the lady at a restaurant by where we live, and he was there. A couple of people from Star Trek were there, the hologram doctor from Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, damn.
He was there.
I'm not a Star Trek nerd, so I don't know everyone.
Oh, okay,
in the show, but
that
was cool.
Q. So he was there.
Damn.
So it was kind of a cool thing. I don't say I wasn't starstruck, but it was more of like, we're sitting down, and because of my view, I can only see Bill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you hear the voice, right? And so I'm like, I think that's
my
him.
Inner child perked up.
Yeah, I think that's him.
Yeah.
And so then I turn and be like, are you Bill? And he's like, oh yeah. And then I turn.
Are you a science guy?
Yeah. And then I turn, and it's Q from Star Trek. I'm like, oh, and hello. And then it's more Star Trek. I'm like, oh, hello. It's just okay, this is happening, type of thing. It
And there's a chance that you were one of the few people in the room who recognized everyone at that table. Like, you have to be like everyone at that table. Like when you started, like you're him. Everyone's just like, okay, that's a nerd.
Yeah,
this guy has to be a nerd.
And we just had fun, just enjoyed our conversations together and stuff. And then at the end of it, Bill and I just did the video, and it was just cool. It was a cool experience. But that's kind of how, in a way, Southern California is. Like my office is also in Beverly Hills, so. I've seen Jeff Goldblum and just had cigars with Mike Tyson and just all kinds of. It's just the area, right? And so nobody really cares. It's just kind of like, oh, cool, it's that person and that person. And I
think it's like one of those things where it's only weird if you make it weird.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's 100%. Like if you just approach it like they're just someone, they're just like anybody else. Then like I feel like the most I've ever felt uncomfortable with fan interactions is when they're like. Then when they get starstruck, because like I'm not trained or conditioned on how to react to that. I don't know how to handle that. I'm a normal dude. So if you treat me like I'm not a normal dude, I feel like a freak, dude. I feel like you're calling me out. I'm like, what? Is there a shit on my face, dude?
No.
You know what I mean? Like some people are like, oh, like trembling and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, just be cool.
Yeah, just be cool. But, like for me, I'm most comfortable when you hand me a microphone and put 3,000 people in front of me. I'm good.
I thought you were gonna say $3,000. I was like, that'd be.
I would charge more than that, but you know.
Not the people, dude. Not the people. That's why. That's why I don't do live shows. I hide behind a camera.
See, I love
my
live
cave.
shows. Yeah, no, I love live shows. But yeah, it's more of just be you, and everybody is just being them.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, just be cool. Just appreciate somebody's work, or just have a conversation about the food. I met Prince. In Buffalo, New York, of all places. He's going to one of his shows just after 9/11, and he's walking on the steps with his girlfriend. He was tiny, she was tinier.
Oh, yeah.
And we were just talking about places to eat in Buffalo. They have the wings and stuff like that, and just cool, like 5-minute conversation. And
that's cool.
And it's weird how, at least to me, it's always been weird how like a lot of people will get super starstruck where like they're shaking, physically ill.
Right.
And I've always just kind of seen it as, in the end, everybody's just trying to find their way in life.
Right.
And some people have become very successful in one way, and others, you walk around LA or drive around LA, you see a lot of homelessness. You see a lot of issues out there.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate that we don't have a system to kind of help everybody, be successful.
Yeah.
But
PCs are the answer, I feel.
Possibly.
I want to believe that PCs are the solution to everything.
With a 4090.
For sure. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a delight.
My pleasure.
Always having you here and getting to sit down and talk with you.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
And it's funny, we only see each other now in like different countries or different cities, and we're like 10 minutes away from each other.
I mean, that's cool, right? It's like we're living the dream, man.
Yeah.
Living the dream, just in our hotel room editing for 8 hours at a time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
but, there are worse ways to live. So,
yeah.
Again,
thank you for having me.
For sure.
It's a pleasure.
Dude. Enjoy the rest of CES.
Thank you, crowd, or viewership, or what is it for podcasts? What's everybody's
listeners?
Listeners.
Yeah.
All right.
But this will be on YouTube as well. So, listeners, audience members, I don't know.
Wherever you are, like and subscribe.
Yeah. You can identify however you want. All right, we're out.
All right.